What if I told you the craziest story from World War II was about a famous general or a decisive battle? What if it was about one single, terrified teenager who ended up fighting on the wrong side of the war 3 times? This is the completely insane, 100% true story of Yang Kyoungjong. Picture this. It's 1938. Yang is just 18 years old, living a simple life in Korea, which was under Japanese rule at the time. Suddenly, his life is turned upside down. He's forcibly conscripted into the Kyoungjong Army, the most elite force of the Japanese Empire. He's not a willing soldier fighting for a cause he believes in. He's a kid, given a gun and a uniform, and told to fight or die. His first taste of combat is at the brutal Battle of Kyoungjong, a fierce border conflict against the Soviet Union. The fighting is intense, a meat grinder of men and machines. Predictably, for a conscript with little training, Yang is captured by the Soviet Red Army. So, now he's a prisoner of war. You'd think his war is over, right? Wrong. The Soviets are desperate for manpower to fight against the invading Germans on the Eastern Front. They look at their prison camps, filled with thousands of men like Yang, and see not just prisoners, but potential soldiers. So, Yang is given a choice that isn't really a choice at all. Rot in a Siberian labor camp, or put on a new uniform and fight for the Red Army. He chooses to live. He swaps his Japanese uniform for a Soviet one, and is shipped thousands of miles west to join the desperate struggle against Nazi Germany. Think about the absurdity of this. A Korean teenager, who was just fighting for Japan, is now a soldier in the Soviet Red Army, fighting against the Germans. He's thrown into some of the most horrific battles in human history. In 1943, during the Third Battle of Kharkov in Ukraine, the tide turns against him once again. His unit is overrun, and for the second time, Yang Kyoungjong is captured, this time by the Germans. At this point, you have to wonder what's going through his mind. He doesn't speak German. He doesn't speak Russian. He barely survived fighting for Japan. Now, he's a prisoner of the Wehrmacht. And what do the Germans do? Exactly what the Soviets did. Facing manpower shortages as the war drags on, they press their prisoners of war into service. They form units called Ostbataillon, or Eastern Battalions, made up of captured Soviet soldiers. Yang is once again given an ultimatum: forced labor, or another uniform. He puts on the field gray uniform of the German Wehrmacht, complete with the eagle and swastika. Let's just pause and register this. A Korean man is now a soldier in the Nazi German army. He's sent all the way to France, to the coast of Normandy. His new unit is tasked with defending the Atlantic Wall, Hitler's fortress against the anticipated Allied invasion. Yang is stationed near Utah Beach, one of the key landing sites for D-Day. He's just a pawn in a global game of chess, moved from one side of the board to the other, with no say in his own destiny. He survived the freezing steppes of Manchuria, the bloody fields of Ukraine, and now he waits for the final, massive invasion of the war. June 6, 1944. D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion in history, begins. Thousands of Allied ships fill the horizon. Paratroopers drop from the sky. The beaches are stormed. Amidst the chaos, the smoke, and the deafening roar of battle on Utah Beach, American paratroopers from the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, the same regiment, later known as the Band of Brothers, are clearing out German positions. They storm a bunker and find a lone, terrified soldier. He's wearing a German uniform, but he doesn't look German. In fact, he looks Asian. The American soldiers are completely baffled. They try to communicate with him, but he doesn't understand English. He doesn't understand German either, beyond a few basic commands. All he can do is babble in a language they've never heard on a European battlefield: Korean. Lieutenant Robert Brewer of the 506th can't believe his eyes. He takes a photo of his strange captive, a picture that would become legendary. It shows a young Asian man, his face a mask of confusion and fear, surrounded by American This is the moment Yang Kyoungjong's unbelievable journey comes to light. Allied intelligence is stunned. They interrogate him, but the language barrier is immense. Slowly, painstakingly, they piece together his story. Japan, the Soviet Union, Germany. They look at his military records, the uniforms he wore, the places he fought. It sounds like fiction. A single soldier who was part of the Axis powers in the East, the Allied powers in the East, and the Axis powers in the West. No one had ever heard of such a thing. He wasn't a spy. He wasn't a mercenary. He was just unbelievably, tragically unlucky. Or maybe, depending on how you look at it, unbelievably lucky to have survived it all. After the war, Yang was sent to a prisoner of war camp in Britain. He was eventually released and granted passage to the United States. He didn't want to go back to Korea, a country now divided and on the brink of another war. He wanted peace. He settled in Illinois, near Chicago, got married, and started a family. He lived a quiet, anonymous life. He never spoke about the war. He never told his neighbors, his friends, or even his own children about his incredible story. Why? Perhaps the trauma was too great. Perhaps he felt shame for the uniforms he was forced to wear. Or perhaps he just wanted to forget the boy who was stolen from his home and forced to fight for everyone and for no one. His story remained hidden for decades, a forgotten footnote of history, until it was rediscovered by historians in the early 2000s. The photos, the interrogation reports, the military records, they all confirmed the tale of the Korean who fought for 3 armies. He passed away in 1992, taking his secrets with him, never knowing that his quiet life of survival would one day be seen as one of the most remarkable stories of World War II. It's a story that defies belief. One teenager, drafted by Japan, then Russia, then Germany, only to be captured by the Americans. He survived it all. His journey is a powerful testament to the sheer absurdity and human cost of war, where ideology means nothing when you're just a kid trying to stay alive. If this story completely blew your mind, please hit that like button and subscribe for more unbelievable true stories, just like this one. We're a growing channel, and every single subscriber helps us bring these hidden histories to light. And if you're as passionate about real history as we are, we're looking for volunteers to help with research and production. Check the description for details on how to get involved. Let me know in the comments, is this the craziest World War II story you've ever heard? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.